to say. Hi, I'm Mark Reiner, the Leviathan, the last day of the decade scriptwriter.
I'm Ivan Volkov, the programmer of this game.
We decided to make this video about our game. We've been developing Leviathan since 2012 and really want to tell you about it.
I think we should talk about the genre first.
Oh, yes. Well, Leviathan is a kind of adventure, but it's not about puzzles, it's about story. And now you see us playing, and soon you'll see the dialogue with available options. And it's not about just making decisions, but story, setting, characters. Some of the decisions made at the episode 1 will remain forever, for the very end of the game, and will affect the things happening, story details and dialogues.
In fact, our game is the sum of computer RPG and adventure experience mixed with tabletop RPGs with a bit of battles and huge amount of lore, stories, special encounters and necessity of making decisions.
Yep, every decision has its price. And when you act, when you choose one way or another, you have to be ready to face the consequences, to be punished or to be awarded later.
This later is such a meaningful term, you know. All the things happening in the game are distanced on the timeline, so episode 1 covers the childhood of the protagonist, and we see 8-year-old boy fighting bullies.
And then 10 years pass by, and our character is a child no more.
Yes, Mark, this game is not about kids.
But we decided to make protagonist a kid first, cause we wanted to show how the weight of the world changes when you get older, how your outlook changes, and motives turn more and more unclear, and everything gets more complicated. And then we made our character to think about complicated things, like, are justice and rightness the same thing or not? Am I right? And do I want to investigate?
No spoilers. At least in our first video.
Well, okay. Something happens at the end of episode 1, and it looks like the main occasion of the game, but in fact is just the point of the story to begin.
Yes, and this is the key feature of the plot. The version of events constantly changes, and all the things happening look like from the different view. Characters, events, motives, everything changes.
And when the character changes, it means that he or she has its own motive, own reason which can be uncovered. It's closely connected to the personal stories of each character. For example, we meet Ruth at the episode 1, and when we see her at the episode 2, we see the way she changes, and we know why she became such vixen, just because we knew her since she was a child.
Every character has its own personal story, and all of them are optional, but connected to the main quest, such as the relationship between protagonist and his sister. Player can get on to her story by speaking to her and also completely ignore her phone calls.
We have an unusual setting like dark fantasy meets alien technology horror, family drama and space opera. As you've seen before, characters speak about the decade, it's a kind of pandemic. They also speak about a person called Plug King. Next time we will tell you more about setting and the world of Leviathan. Well, sister.
We can call her in every episode, and we will always see the part of the story, see how complicated human relationships can be. By the way, there are many references to the events happening in the world, flashbacks, family stories.
Family story seems to be a proper description of the most of the stories of the Leviathan, the last day of the decade, because they are all based on everyday problems and wishes, and all the motives look simple, but they are complicated enough inside. The whole plot can also be described as family story or family drama because it's really earthbound and serious and would be interesting for the mature adult people.
There is not only the main story, but main story mixed with a bunch of side stories. Like pieces of the puzzle, you ought to collect all of them to see the story as is.
And now we almost completed to collect this puzzle. We've made 4 episodes of 5, and 3 of them are translated to English. Also, German and French translations are in progress. So we want more players to join and play and to discuss the story and the world, because our story it's huge. It has huge background, it's full of references, side stories and symbols to discuss.
All we need now is to spread the word about Leviathan and to let our players know about the game, cause now we are really little known. We are an indie developers and it's really hard for us to conquer the market. We've just come to the Steam green light, and now we need your votes to release our game onto Steam.
It will be a really significant help. You know, some of the developers are raising money for their games through the internet, and we raising votes.
It's kinda crowdfunding, which promotes us to the audience.
And it's really important to add that we are not supposed to make the only game based on the Leviathan setting, and The Last Day of the Decade is just a prequel, a prelude to the giant complex story.
But this complex story will remain uncovered until the next time.
Thanks for attention. Vote for us at the green light. Tell your friends. Thumbs up, guys.
See you later.